The NFL's galaxy of bright stars includes rising young ones like Chicago quarterback Jim McMahon. And last Sunday at the Superdome, he threw a first-quarter touchdown pass to a rookie who has burst into the Bears lineup like a comet. Willie Gault, number 83. But Chicago was brought back to earth in the third quarter when an old star named Ken Stabler lit up the game with scoring passes to Kenny Duckett and number 85, Hobie Brenner. Stabler staked New Orleans to a 24-10 lead that was erased by the heavenly body of another time-tested veteran, Walter Payton, number 34. Payton rushed for over 160 yards and followed this 49-yard scoring run with a 56-yard scoring pass to Gault that knotted the game at 24. The Bears demonstrated that their halfback option play was no passing fancy when Payton and Gault connected again with less than 2 minutes remaining. Gault's reception provoked a brief but lively debate among officials, who quickly decided that the catch was good. And when regulation time ended, both teams boasted 31 points. Then in the extra period, Morton Anderson booted the Saints to a 34-31 win with a 41-yard field goal that gave them the first overtime victory of their 17-year existence. This toddler's Viking T-shirt was out of place in Tampa Stadium, but then the hometown Buccaneers seemed a little lost too. A botched extra point attempt was only the beginning of a bad day against Minnesota for number 3 Bill Capice, who later missed a field goal try in overtime. Making his first NFL start since 1980, Tampa quarterback Jack Thompson was hot and cold, as well as black and blue. Early in the game, Minnesota's Tommy Kramer suffered a season-ending injury, but he did get the scoring started with a first-quarter touchdown pass to Terry LeCount, number 80. 4 periods later, the Vikings posted a 19-16 victory over the still winless Bucs. Their NFC Central Division rivals, the Green Bay Packers, had a close call against the Rams after winging their way to a 17-3 halftime lead. Lynn Dickey hit number 83, John Jefferson, for his 9th touchdown pass of the season. The Pack's dormant pass rush, which had earned just 1 sack prior to this game, finally came to life. Double teaming could not prevent Ezra Johnson, number 90, from registering 2 of 4 Green Bay sacks on the day. But Vince Ferragamo engineered an LA comeback by throwing for 2 second-half scores, including one to rookie Otis Grant, number 82. The Rams even matters at 24 apiece, but a soaring one-man SWAT team named Gary Lewis, number 81, shot down their lofty hopes for a last-gasp victory. For the 6'5 Lewis, this was the 7th game in the Packers' last 11 that he has blocked or deflected a placement attempt. Unfortunately for the Rams, they lacked someone of Lewis's stature to prevent Jan Stenerud from kicking a game-winning field goal with just 1 second showing on the clock. For the second time in this young season, Stenerud, who at 39 is the NFL's oldest player, produced Green Bay's margin of victory with the game on the line. The Packers' 27-24 win proved that while there are bright new stars shining in the NFL galaxy, there are a few old ones who have a long way to go before they fade from sight. Wallowing in a mire of controversy, the Cincinnati Bengals have become a team of individuals headed down separate paths. Against the Browns, Cincinnati finally set out in the same direction. Unfortunately, that direction was backward. While Ken Anderson was unable to get his bearings straight, Cleveland quarterback Brian Sipes set his course on the Bengal end zone and found tight end Ozzie Newsome. Newsome's touchdown helped boost the Browns to a 17-7 victory over Cincinnati, as the Bengals remained only one of 4 winless teams in the NFL. Surprisingly, the Baltimore Colts are not part of that infamous group, as they proudly took their 1-1 record up to Buffalo and promptly set out to improve it. Number 33, running back Curtis Dickey, provided the majority of the offense by scoring 2 touchdowns, as his young legs instilled new life to the Colts' arthritic attack. However, just when it seemed Baltimore was off and running, 153 yards in penalties and Bill halfback Joe Cribbs stopped the Colts dead in their tracks. Cribbs overshadowed Dickey's performance with 3 touchdowns of his own as Buffalo came from behind to defeat the Colts 28-23. Trying desperately to fill the shoes of a media-created superstar, John Elway's NFL career to date has been some kind of hell. Fame and glory have been replaced by confusion and frustration. Against the Eagles last Sunday, Elway could find no escape from the horror-filled nightmare he's been living since opening day. Philadelphia held Denver scoreless in the first 2 quarters, while Ron Jaworski provided the only points of the half with a touchdown pass to wide receiver Mike Quick. In the final period, with the Eagles leading 10-3, Elway finally showed signs of filling those oversized shoes. A 33-yard scoring strike to Rick Parris, number 24, tied the score at 10-10. But any thoughts Elway may have had of awakening from his nightmare were put to rest by Eagle field goal kicker Tony Franklin. Tony the Toe's 43-yarder with only 57 seconds remaining gave Philadelphia a 13-10 win. While Franklin experienced a kicker's high, Pittsburgh's Gary Anderson suffered a kicker's low as he was victimized by the first kickoff return touchdown against the Steelers in 7 years. The assailant was Houston's Carl Roaches, number 85. Roach's 93-yard run put Houston on top 7-3. Unfortunately for the Oilers, the lead didn't stand up for long. Whereas most NFL offenses utilize the strategy, take what the defense gives you, the Oilers just don't seem to have a grasp on it. Number 53, Brian Hinkle, and the Steeler defense took advantage of Houston's miscues, while the Steeler offense simply took advantage. Ageless Franco Harris rushed for over 100 yards for the 3rd straight week, and his running mate, Walter Abercrombie, number 34, scored 2 touchdowns. 40-28 Steeler win boosted their record to 2-1 and sent the winless Oilers headed in the same dreaded direction as the Cincinnati Bengals. Grim was the demeanor of Dan Henning under the Silver Dome in Detroit, and wary was his outlook against the Lions. The Falcons' 16-13 loss to the Giants a week before all too clearly reminded Henning of Atlanta's offense of a year ago, a unit stricken with an inconsistency that his arrival was supposed to cure. But patience, in addition to being a noble virtue, is also a prerequisite for survival and success in the NFL. With the help of some daring do by number 85, Alfred Jackson, Henning continued to keep his Falcon rebuilding plan on a straight course. Steve Bartkowski threw for 366 yards and 3 touchdowns on passes to number 86, tight end Ben Young, that were delivered with Bullock-style precision, and lobs to Alfred Jackson that were timed with ballet-like grace. The Falcons' 30-14 defeat of the Detroit Lions was their second victory of the young season, but it was the first indication that the matching of Dan Henning's prowess with Atlanta's explosive potential may be an engaging one. In New England, faith, patience, and perseverance are also the virtues that mark the reign this season of Patriot coach Ron Meyer. Faith coming in the form of staying the course with Tony Collins, whose overtime fumble against Baltimore presented the Colts with a gift-wrapped victory that even Santa Claus might never have delivered. Against the Jets, Meyer sent out Collins with the ball 23 times in an effort to sidetrack the sack exchange and stall the New York attack. The Patriots blasted so many holes through the Jet defense that at times it seemed they were playing with a man advantage. The coordinated blocking of number 61, Ron Wooten, as well as number 73, John Hanna, and even number 30, running back Mosi Tatupu, was typical of the kind of clear sailing Collins enjoyed all afternoon. An afternoon where he rushed for 212 yards, breaking a Patriot record that dated back to Jim Nantz and the Neanderthal days of the old AFL. While Collins' preeminent performance in the past 23-13 victory over the Jets might have bordered on the unpredictable, there was nothing surprising about the clawing, physically straining clash between the Giants and Cowboys in Texas. Since the rise of New York's defense from mediocre to mighty, Cowboy-Giant games have been more like bone-jarring, body-crushing battles in a long and bitter war. Timely plays on the part of the defense more often than not decide these games. Midway into the final period, with the Giants behind by 1 and only a few short yards from field goal range, outside linebacker Anthony Dickerson decided the time for such a play had come. Dickerson's blitz forced a weak pass that was intercepted by Dexter Clinkscale, who had a free ride to the Giant end zone. A mere 13 seconds later, 12-year veteran Robert Newhouse, perhaps angered by his prolonged patrolling on the bench, stalked Giant kick returner Billy Campfield with a wild abandon of a rookie trying to land a spot on the Suicide Squad. Michael Downs' subsequent touchdown iced the hotly contested game and left the Cowboys as the NFC's only undefeated team. But in keeping with their coach's more demanding and disciplined course for this season, Cowboy victory celebration hopes were muted, as Tom Landry hopes that a more serious air of dedication will bring this team an NFL championship. 49ers arrived in St. Louis eager to expose some gaping holes in the young Cardinal secondary. Quarterback Joe Montana did just that with 3 touchdown passes. The first, a 69-yarder to Freddie Solomon. The San Francisco defense struck hard and heavy as well, then gave St. Louis running back O.J. Anderson the rest of the afternoon off. Anderson was replaced by one of the finest pinch hitters in the game. In a substitute role, Stump Mitchell, number 30, carried 8 times for 123 yards to become the game's leading rusher. But Mitchell's numbers could not overcome the negative effects of the St. Louis passing game. Both Dwight Hicks and former Cardinal Tim Collier, number 47, returned interceptions for touchdowns. After the 49ers' newest dimension, running back Wendell Tyler recorded his second 100-yard day, the 49ers had put away a 42-27 win. Few prayers may be in order for Cardinal head coach Jim Hanifin. His third straight loss was compounded by injuries to 2 key offensive linemen. Picked as one of the surprise teams of 1983, Hanifin's Cardinals have dug themselves a hole that will be tough to climb out of. The Washington Redskins dug themselves a hole against Kansas City, but emerged in fine fashion. Down 12-0 at the half, the Skins defense woke up and limited the Chiefs to just 34 total yards the rest of the way. When the Chiefs' Bob Rush, number 53, pulled right from his center position, it created a mismatch on the left side, allowing Redskins linebacker Neil Okowitz a free lane to the quarterback and one of 5 Washington sacks. Equally overpowering was fullback John Riggins, who carried most of the Redskin running load, along with much of the Chiefs' secondary on his shoulders. Washington's one-back, 2-tight end offense gives them an extra receiver on passing downs, a factor quarterback Joe Theismann exploited to seal the game away. Don Warren, number 85, earned Washington their first lead of the day on a 12-yard scoring pass. And when Theismann sought out his other tight end, Clint Didier, with a game clincher, the Skins were winners 27-12. The Redskins were the biggest surprise team of last season. This year, that title could well belong to Coach Chuck Knox's Seattle Seahawks. In the Kingdome, Seattle's time-honored tandem of Jim Zorn and Steve Largent was matched by the equally accomplished combination of San Diego's Dan Fouts and Charlie Joyner, number 18. Dan Fouts threw for 338 yards and 4 touchdowns, but the Seattle secondary got even with 3 interceptions of their own. Free safety John Harris, number 44, shut down 1 Charger drive, and rookie safety Paul Moyer, number 21, did him one better with his first NFL touchdown, a 19-yard return. Seattle built a 27-10 lead before winning 34-31 on a second Zorn to Largent scoring pass. In Indeed, the Seahawks are one of the season's early surprises, but it remains to be seen if they can pull off the unexpected come December.